Yeah, that's right, it wasn't clickbait. 48 hours in China has been cancelled. So, where on earth do I start? Remember me saying in a previous video that the application process to get into China was an absolute nightmare? Well, it turned out we were going to be able to go on a group visa, as I explained before, which kind of simplified the whole process. It made it a whole lot easier. But on the 1st of September, in their wisdom, China decided to change the law, or whatever it was they did, and stop offering this visa. So that meant with only 3 weeks before we planned to travel, my brother and I had no visa to get into China. In order to now get a visa, we would need to complete the original document in which they wanted to know every job you ever had, among a million other details about parents, education, sexual orientation. Okay, that was a pain, but doable. But in addition to this, we both had to be available at any time, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5.
Working 9 to 5.
Within the next 2 weeks, with little to zero notice, to get to London, get to the Chinese embassy, have all our biometrics information harvested, and then go back to London 2 days later to collect the visas, but only if they were approved. Okay, so the extra travel expense we'd incur to get to and from London, etc. was going to be annoying, but more importantly, my brother and I both work. Both of us would find it extremely difficult, without knowing when the interview was, just to get up and go on the whim of a phone call. It just wasn't going to be possible for us.
We just couldn't do it.
It's a stalemate. No visas, no entry to China. Depending on when you're watching this video, the Monday just passed was the last day that we were able to apply for our visas, which we didn't. So now we have accommodation and flights booked, but no way to get into the country. Not to mention transfers that are booked and paid for, hotel parking, etc. And to be honest, I think there's going to be little chance of me getting any kind of refund, because it was China that changed the law. It's not these companies' faults, and in the small prints, I don't think they're going to give me any money. But in a glimmer of hope, to add to our visa woes, British Airways pilots decided that they wanted a cut of BA's profits. And as BA said no, they decided to strike on, you guessed it, the 27th of September, which is the Friday that we have our flights booked to go to China anyway. I get the feeling the universe is telling me I shouldn't go to China. On a side note though, my understanding, and from what I'm reading, is that the pilots are on a good, fair industry wage. They get a good wage for what they do. They don't have any of the stresses or struggles with running or owning their own business or airline. So I'm confused as to why the organisation should pay them a percentage of their profits. If they wanted all those benefits, then surely they should set up and run their own aviation business? Or am I missing something here? Anyway, I digress. So now, no visas, pending strikes, out of pocket by a lot. What do? Do I approach BA and tell them that we can't get our visas, so I need to cancel, and then risk them not refunding anything because it's not their fault? Or do I play on the fact of the uncertainty of the strikes and all the additional expense, and not knowing our flight was going to be cancelled was a big issue for me, and obviously conveniently forget that we can't get into China anyway? So now my morality is in play. Do I be honest or not? Or is there any kind of middle ground? I hope you're following this so far. So to confirm at this stage, BA have stated on their website that they're unable to confirm if our flight would 100% be affected or not. So I am under the impression that I have 3 options. Option 1, just wait and see if BA cancel my flight, and then hopefully I'll get a full refund because they've cancelled it. Or 2, don't wait, call them and cancel due to having no visa, and then risk losing a large amount, or if not all of what I've already paid because it's not their fault. Or 3, do nothing and wait. If they don't cancel, we can't travel anyway and we lose it. If they do cancel, we also can't go anyway. Actually, forget option 3, completely pointless. So I went with option 2, which was to call BA and kind of explain the situation, but leave out the fact that we don't actually have the visas. After 3 days of trying to get through to them on the telephone, I finally got through to someone, and I honestly felt really bad for this chap, as he had obviously been dealing with this strike for a lot of time by now. The guy was extremely helpful and very, very apologetic, and he explained on the phone, which I'd already read on their website, that they couldn't confirm whether our flight would be cancelled or not until a week or so before. But to my complete and utter surprise, he said that they would still refund everything, regardless of not knowing whether our flight was going to be cancelled or not, which I thought was a bonus, an absolute bonus. And I didn't even need to mention the lack of visa, which I kind of feel a little bad about, but I don't. So long story short, everything has been cancelled and refunds are all on its way back from all the different suppliers, apart from a lot of waste time and £50 on holiday insurance,
which was non-refundable.
Actually, I say there was a lot of wasted time, there wasn't. This isn't exactly true because I've learnt a whole lot during this process. When we plan it all over again, I'm going to be a lot more knowledgeable this time round. And we do plan on planning it again, I mean. We're thinking about maybe waiting until early next year when it's a little warmer, because I don't fancy walking around China in winter, in the freezing cold, holding a camera, because my hands would likely drop off. So 48 hours in, which was going to be quite a long, nice series with some cool videos of traveling and vlogging from China, it turned out to be 4 episodes, of which on the last one, it's getting cancelled. Great. So remember, as always, if you like the video, thumbs up would be great, subscribe would be even better, and I don't know, anyway. See you in the next one, Internet. Goodbye.